Good morning, everybody. It's Richard here. Today in this video, I'm back with another video, and today's part 2 on the American driving laws. Today, I have got a couple down. I figured, I would do more on these, because, I figured they're kind of cool and interesting, So I've done a couple of them so far. I'll be doing one for each video. So I'll be doing like a bunch of them, because I figured, they would always, because I figured, that'd be kind of cool to, to do so, and, yeah. This will be interesting. So, yeah, so today, as you know, a few days ago, I did info on the Canadian driving laws. So, the Canadian driving law. Sorry. So, as you guys know, in my previous video around 3 days ago, I did info on the Canadian driving laws. I figured, they were, pretty cool, considering, I've always wanted to do something like this. And I figured for my next video is gonna be something similar to it, but it's gonna be a lot different, actually. So it's gonna be much more different than the ones in Canada, because bear in mind, Canada is pretty much cold out there and all that stuff. Well, in some places in Canada is cold, Alaska, for example. I think it's in Canada. I don't know. Well, it borders between British Columbia and Yukon in Canada. So it's in the USA. Here's something kind of interesting. It says, why did Russia sell Alaska to USA? Well, defeat in the Crimean War further reduced Russian interest in this region. Russia offered to sell Alaska to the US in 1859. So that was 164, getting close to 165 years ago, believing the US would offset the designs of Russia's greatest rival in the Pacific, the UK, which I didn't know, that was true or possible. I don't know. So, yeah. I'm also looking how far apart are Alaska and Russia. The nearest points between mainland Alaska and Russia are the western tip. Are the western tip of Cape Prince of Wales in Alaska and the southern point of Cape Dezhnev. I can't pronounce that. It's a Russian name. In Russia, it's spelled Dezhnev. In Russia, with a distance of roughly 88.5 kilometers, which is 55 miles between the 2 points. Alright, so, without any further ado, let's get started. But before we do, make sure you guys like the video, subscribe, comment below what you guys think, and hit the notification bell, and hit all so you alert when I make new uploads. And sorry if I haven't been filming, I've been busy and everything else with work and all that stuff. So today, I've done the Canadian driving laws. Now we're going to do driving laws in Arizona. So this is going to be a good one. So I picked out a couple of them. So I figured, it'd be cool. So yeah, without any further ado, let's get started. So Arizona driving laws. What do I need? So the first question I can put on, as I put down, is what do I need to know about driving in Arizona? It says drive during daylight hours only. Watch out for wildlife. Can't even talk. Watch out for wildlife. Yeah, wildlife. There we go. Be aware of other vehicles. Use caution when passing. Don't forget to enjoy the scenery as well. Say, don't forget to enjoy the scenery. It's kind of an interesting answer that they put down for this, but that's cool. What is considered speeding in Arizona? Criminal speed. Criminal speeding, it can be committed by doing the following: traveling over 56 kilometers an hour, 35 miles an hour approaching a school zone, traveling over 32 kilometers an hour, 20 miles an hour in a residential or commercial area. So it's traveling over 32 kilometers an hour, 20 miles an hour in a residential or commercial area. Traveling over 136 kilometers an hour, 85 miles an hour, anywhere in the state. So anywhere in the state. Next one, is it illegal to drive in the fast lane in Arizona? The Arizona left lane law stipulates that drivers must stay in the right lane unless they're passing the car in front of them or making a left turn. Next question I got is, why are there no toll roads in Arizona? There are no toll roads in Arizona, as the state didn't build any freeway grade roadways prior to receiving federal funds under the IHS, which stands for Interstate Highway System, because there's no reason for any. The 4 interstates really cover everywhere you need to go, since Arizona is a pretty desolate place. So it's pretty much like, so I just had a look at what desolate is. So for those who don't know what desolate is, it's pretty much like, like, sorry, I was feeling a bit sick this morning. For those who don't know what desolate means, I just had to look it up. Desolate basically means like it's uninhabited, like it's not been been used, like something's not been used for a very long time, or for ages now. It has never been used. So it's pretty desolate place. So Arizona is pretty much like a desolate place because barely anybody uses like some like roads in Arizona and all that stuff. It's a pretty desolate place. Yeah, desolate place. Like it's never been used. And the last question I got is, what's it like driving through Arizona? With a variety, I think it's spelled VARIETY, with a variety of landscapes. With a variety of landscapes from flat deserts to mountains, you will encounter a range of speed limit zones in Arizona. Within cities, school zones generally have a limit of 24 kilometers an hour. So 24 kilometers an hour, 15 miles an hour, and business districts are restricted to 40 kilometers an hour, 25 miles an hour. So I'm just saying it's slow because every time I say it fast, I don't really understand what I'm saying. So 40 kilometers an hour, 25 miles an hour. There we go. Be sure to also look out for construction zones with strict speed limits. And that is it, guys, for this video. If you guys like this video, make sure you guys like it, subscribe, comment below what you guys think, hit that notification bell, and hit all so you're alerted of when I make new uploads. So I will be doing more YouTube until next month on December 15th, because for those who don't know why, basically because I'll be working at that time. So today's the 14th. On the 15th, I'll be working in 31 days, pretty much. So that is 4 weeks to go. I got plenty of time for this, you know. I mean, 4 weeks is that's pretty cool, you know. I think it's around 4 weeks. Well, around 4.5 weeks, somewhere around there. That's all right, but yeah, 4 weeks. No, I would say easy. You know, I've got plenty of time for this. You know, genius, absolute genius. Well, I don't know why I say that, but oh my god, sometimes I think I'm just dumb. Like, you know, I always just say words like this, and I just regret saying this because sometimes they wouldn't even mean anything. Every time I always do this. I always mess up. I don't know what's wrong with me, like, you know, messing up always, you know. Unbelievable. Just unbelievable. I mean, but that's how I am. I mean, I have learning difficulties. I was gonna say learning disabilities, but I don't really feel like that's the right word to use. So difficulties would be a good option. So yeah, you guys have seen my videos of like how good I am, you know, of like doing YouTube, like all the progress of like the amount of work I put into it was fantastic. But you know, when it comes to learning, difficulties come your way. Like I had, like believe me, like I've had a lot of difficulties back in my time, which I still have. Like, you know, I have, you know, learning difficulties, like learning disabilities. I don't really know a lot of stuff that well, and I just sometimes have to look up in the internet, so I know a lot. Like, you know, I don't really memorize it that well because, you know, my brain doesn't function that properly. I mean, it kind of does, but I struggle to remember a lot of stuff all the time, which is my problem, which I struggle a lot. But I mean, I do remember, like, some other stuff really well. Others, not as such. I mean, I have learning difficulties, like, all the time, usually. But, I mean, yeah, I always have, like, I always will have learning difficulties for, like, the rest of my life or something. I don't know, but, I mean, it's just how it is, pretty much. Uh, I had learning difficulties since I was a little kid. Well, I am still a kid, but, like, getting up to the adult zone, which I'm kind of struggling with that. Like, I don't know. I mean, for me, I feel like that's a scary stage to be at, you know, as an adult. Man, God help me, like I'm screwed. If this goes wrong for my adult age, my life is over. Like, literally. I feel like an adult age is kind of a scary situation to be put in, like as a teenager, like 17, 18-year-old almost. I'll be 18 very soon, actually. In the next month, I'll be 18. And then, I'll be pretty much working for, like, the rest of my life, pretty much. I won't be doing it anymore YouTube because, I'll be working and I'll get paid money. So, I mean, it would depend on what job I would have and depend on how much they would pay me, pretty much. You know, what's the minimum or the maximum wage they would pay me. So, in some jobs, they would pay you, like, over 100, maybe thousands of quid. Maybe an hour or so. Or a month or a week, depending on how long you work for. Because, like, the more you work, the more money you get paid, pretty much. So the more you work, the more money you get paid. And that is actually true. Because if you work more, you get paid more. But if you work less, you get paid less. But it won't matter. It doesn't matter, like, what either way you work. Like, it doesn't really matter what kind of way you really work at, either like more like either like you get paid less money, you get paid more money. What matters is that whatever, like, for how long you would work for or for how much you get paid, just remember the most important thing is that you always get paid for whatever job that you do. But that's what matters. That's what's important, because you don't want to become broke for the rest of your life. For those who don't know what broke means, it basically means that you don't really have any money at all for you at all, and you can't really buy anything like to afford, and you're just left stranded like on the side of the road, begging for help, begging for food, water, and begging for money as well. I mean, believe me, like I've seen like usually when I go like into like Northampton or like like somewhere around Rushden or something, or Corby or anywhere, I've seen people on the side of the sidewalks, laying down there, like sometimes they would have hats on the side with like, you know, hoping they'll get money. Like I've seen that happen usually, and I feel hurtful in the inside, for that to happen. I mean, it just doesn't feel right. I mean, like literally, it doesn't feel right, for them to be on a side. It's important for people to have help. You know, if one day if I had money and if I would see like someone on a side like begging for help or anything, money, food, anything like that, I'll be willing to help them, because that is what people do in life. They help out the others, like they help out people they care about the most and love the most and have respect for them the most, which is important. So bear this in mind, guys. It's important to help out people in need as much as you can as possible. So if you see someone on like, the side of the sidewalk, for example, just laying down there like begging for help or anything, just willing to help them out. I mean, like, it doesn't matter if they're like a stranger or a friend or not. What matters is that you help out the ones in need the most, because if you help them out, uh, good luck will be heading to your way, pretty much. Because literally, things will happen to you good in life. Good things will happen to you in life if you help out the ones in need, which is very important. So please just make sure, like, bear this in mind. If you see someone willing to help or anything like that, be sure to help them out. Like, it doesn't, like, be sure to help out the ones in need. It might not matter if it's like for something important or not, but what matters is, well, it could be like important, I guess, but what matters is that you help out the ones in need. So that is really important, that you guys help them out the most. So yep, that oh my god, I felt like my voice was dying for a second. So that will be it, guys. So if you guys like this video and this little information about helping people that you know, if if you guys like this video and this information about helping people out in need and all that stuff, if you find it important, like important, helpful, encouraging, kindful, or interesting, or all five of these, or any more of that, make sure you guys like the video, subscribe, comment below what you guys think, and hit the notification bell, and hit all so you're alerted of when I'm making new uploads. My god, every time I say this, I always mess up. I can't even get my words right because, like I said, I have learning difficulties. Like, I usually can't say my words right, and I struggle to remember a lot of stuff. Feels like I have amnesia or something. I can't really pronounce it. Like, it's spelled M-A. It's spelled. No, it's not. I am sorry. No, sorry. It's spelled A-M-N-E-S-I-A. which I don't really know what that technically means.
Amnesia. Amnesia. Amnesia.
Amnesia, whatever. I don't know like what it is. Like it says right here, amnesia. What's it called when you struggle to remember? Amnesia. It refers to the loss of memories, including facts, information, and experiences. Movies and television tend to depict amnesia as forgetting your identity, but that's not generally the case in real life. Instead, people with amnesia is also called amnestic syndrome, which is actually true. Usually know who they are. Um, it's also what's it called when someone forgets things easily? Ah,
Transience.
transience. This is something. It's when someone forgets things easy. Transience. This is the tendency to forget facts or events over time. You are most likely to forget information soon after you learn it. However, memory has a either use it or lose it uh, quality. Memories that are called up and used frequently are least likely to be forgotten. And this one is an interesting, it's kind of an important one for me. Like pretty much, it's kind of interesting and kind of useful. It says, "Why do I struggle to remember things?" It says, "There's severe stress, depression, a vitamin B12 deficiency, too little or too much sleep, and it also says some prescription drugs and infections, which I don't do. Like, I never do. I promise you guys, I don't do. Thank God for that. I'm a normal kid. I don't do nothing of that. Nothing. I will never do it. And I will never do it until I die. Can all play a role, even if those factors don't explain your memory lapses. You don't need to simply resign yourself to memory loss as you age. So yeah, like here's another one. What are the 10 warning signs of dementia? Which I've been told a long time ago by a friend of mine when I was still in college, but he's not around anymore. He left like a couple months ago, pretty much. It's basically like 10 warning signs of dementia. But it says like there's like 8 of them. Yeah, there's 8. So it's basically memory loss, difficulty with tasks, disorientation, language problems, changes in abstract thinking, poor judgment, poor spatial skills, and misplacing things. And so, the most ones I think I am at is if it's pretty like easy for me to know is pretty much memory loss, difficulty with tasks. I would say language problems because sometimes for different languages I do struggle to speak, or learn different languages, or can't really speak the language that well. And misplacing things because obviously I forget things a lot. I always do it every time. No matter what I do, I always forget stuff, even if I need it or if I need to have that with me at all times. I forget it and I have to find it afterwards. And the minute I find it, it's at the same place that it's always been for ages, and I didn't look. So yeah, like I sometimes have to train my memory, but as no matter what I do, like literally, this is actually kind of a I wouldn't really say serious, but it's actually kind of an important one. No matter what I do, like every time I try to train my memory, it just wipes out clean. Literally, it gets me to start over all the time. Sorry if I'm talking like this, just because like I'm going through a lot right now, I mean, for like YouTube and all that stuff, and uh thinking about like what my job is gonna be like when I'll start it for the first time ever on the 15th of December when I'm 18 years old. Uh, Sorry, it's just like I'm going through a lot right now at the moment. It just feels like I got problems, got issues and all that stuff. I don't feel right. Literally, I don't feel right. And literally, I can't even talk properly. And this one is actually kind of a weird name to actually pronounce.
Dysarthria.
Dysarthria. For those who don't know what that is, it's basically it means difficulty speaking. Dysarthria means difficulty speaking. It can be caused by either like by brain damage or by brain changes occurring in some conditions affecting the nervous either like to like the nervous system or related to aging. It can affect people of all ages, like teenage age, adult age, any kind of age. It can actually happen. If dysarthria occurs suddenly, call 999. It may be being caused by a stroke, which here's one I just found out. What is the condition called when you can't speak? Um, can't really see it.
Aphasia.
Aphasia. This is the overall term for a brain-connected problem with language abilities. With language abilities, including speaking or understanding other people speaking. Experts use this term for full or partial loss of language abilities. And sometimes I do struggle like to talk really, because sometimes I don't really feel like the courage to talk, or sometimes I can't really like talk at all or like properly, or I can't even like say it, and it just sometimes holds me back, which is called taciturn. I don't really know how to pronounce that. I think I said it right.
Taciturn.
Taciturn. There we go. Uh, a person who is quiet and does not often talk very much can be described as taciturn. That's spelled Taciturn. Taciturn implies that a person does not talk because they are thought to be unfriendly. So basically, if someone uses too few words in a way that seems rude or unfriendly, you can call them abrupt, which I'm not one of them. And also, there's another one. Why am I stumbling over my words? Simply being tired or fatigued can make it hard to think of the right words. So yeah, I was tired this morning. I couldn't even get up. I was so tired. I went to sleep so late, like I don't know, like 9 or 10 in the afternoon, like 9 or 10 p.m. at night. I can't remember, but what I remember is that I went to sleep like so late. I couldn't. I was so tired. But I had to get up for work. Um, I didn't want it, but I had to do it. I had no choice. It's either this or I'm in trouble. There's another one. How do you describe not speaking clearly? So yeah, here's another one. Uh, here's another one. How do you describe not speaking clearly? This word I can't really pronounce it well.
Incoherent.
Incoherent. Or tongue tired. Unable. I can't talk. Oh my god. Unable to express yourself clearly or fluently. Mute, tongueless, unspoken, wordless. This is like, another. And here's another one. Why do I struggle to talk to people? It says, if you have been feeling this way for at least 6 months, and these feelings make it hard for you to do everyday tasks, such as talking to people at work or school, you may have social anxiety disorder. Social anxiety disorder is an intense, persistent fear of being watched and judged by others. Like I feel like this, social anxiety disorder. Like I feel like I'm being like watched or I'm feeling like I've been judged by other people. I don't know why, but I kind of feel like this. It just doesn't feel right, for me to be like this. So like I don't know, like it feels like I'm suffering a lot. I don't know, but I kind of feel like it, but other times I'm okay, really. Other times I'm good. Like remember like some stuff really well because I practice like memorizing cars. Mainly because that's the main thing I am good at remembering. And sometimes if I can't remember, I would sometimes put it on a note on my phone. That's my old phone. That's my current phone at the moment. iPhone 12 Pro Max. Uh, this is my old Huawei P20 Pro. Well, just a regular P20, I think. I don't really know, but basically, what I do is I either like write it down of what I need to remember, of what I need to remember, or I just put it on my notes on my phone because on every Android device, Samsung, Huawei iPhones, Nokia's, if you're like into old school phones, they would have notes. They would have the notes app on your phone. So basically, you could put them on your phone to like you put the notes down on your phone of what you can, if you can't remember it that well. My suggestion is you can put it on the notes. So the next time how can I put this? So the next time you need to know what you're doing or like where you need to go or anything or you need to go or you need to do or anything like that, you can always check on the notes so you know what you got to do, which makes it easier. Even for me, pretty much. Like I always just use notes because I find it easier than having to use my brain, which I struggle to use my brain a lot because like I I was I didn't know a lot of stuff. I'll be honest. I didn't know a lot of stuff. I know a little bit. I still do for the rest of my life. I'll know like a little bit, but mostly like for other stuff, either I barely know it or I just don't simply know it at all. Like either one of those two. Like I don't know, but I mean that's just how it is sometimes. No, some people remember well, others have difficulties remembering. Even me, I got difficulties remembering a lot of stuff all the time. Like I always do. It just doesn't feel right for me, like at all. I don't feel right, having to be like this whatsoever. So I would want to train memorizing a lot of stuff because I don't want to be stuck like this for the rest of my life, not remembering a lot of stuff. And here I go talking like can't really say the words right. Oh my god. Man. Sometimes I think I'm just not right. I feel like something's wrong. I mean, like, I don't know what, but I feel like I have issues. I mean, not mentally, but sometimes I feel like, I just don't feel right at all. Like, I always just forget a lot of stuff. I don't remember a lot. Oh my god. I feel like I've messed up. I mean, I don't, but I just feel like, like, I don't know what to say. Like, I don't really know what to say at all, but, I got no words. Like, I really don't. Um, so I figured I'll go. I'll do the next video in like a little bit. Um, so what part was this? So I've done part one, which is the Canadian driving laws. Now I'm doing Arizona, and then for my next one, is uh so I've done the Canadian driving laws. I did the Arizona driving laws, and now for my next video is going to be about the Californian driving laws, and that is where I want to move to one day. When I grow up over 18 or maybe 19 or 20 or so, I don't know, but I would want to move to California one day because I would want to head to LA because I always loved LA. I haven't been there. I've seen pictures of it though. It looks fantastic. I'm just saying, like, I'll admit some parts in like LA or anywhere in California can be rough, but at the same time, it's a good place to be at. Specifically because of Fast and Furious, because most of it did take place in California. Well, in Los Angeles and LA. So the movies that took part in LA, as I remember it, um, I think most of them did. I don't know, or maybe half. Is the Fast and the Furious 2001. There is also the prelude of the first movie to the second movie, as you know. Have you seen? F. I can't really talk. After Brian gives Dom the keys to the Supra, he basically heads to his house, presumably I think, and he got in his Mitsubishi 3000 GT. I don't know the year. Says from 1990 to the year 2000. So basically, it's also uh, a Dodge Stealth to look like a 3000 GT. So the one that I like is definitely the VR4. Here's what it looks like right here. Don't know if you guys can see it, but there we go. Focus. There we go. So this is what the car looks like. This one right here in the Fast and Furious, kind of like Too Fast and Furious prelude, I think. Where Brian heads from LA to Arizona and then to Miami. The car basically sounds like it's got single turbo RB26 engine sounds into it, which it did actually have those kind of engine sounds, which are pretty cool, considering, they have a V6, which, I mean, it does sound cool, but, an engine swap is kind of cool. To an RB26 powered 3000, an RB26 powered 3000 GT, awesome. If I were to get a 3000 GT, I would literally do an engine swap. I would do it. I mean, I know that's kind of weird, but people would like, if like I were to get a 3000 GT, people would say keep the V6. I mean, it would sound great. I mean, yeah, sure, the V6 does sound great, but at the same time, I do love RB26 engines, and I kind of would want to do an engine swap. It will take time, but it's worth it. An RB26 powered 3000 GT rocks. It just literally is awesome. It's like the recipe for success. I mean, literally, the 3000 GT's the stock V6 engine is good, but I've always been more of an I've always been more of an RB fan. I've always loved RB25s, RB26s, RB26 DETs, RB26 DTTs. The T is single turbo, TT is twin turbo, which is possible. You can actually convert your RB26 Skyline R32, R33, or an R34, R32, R33, or R34 to a single turbo even. You can just take out one turbo and just stick in a gigantic single turbo kit. Which I've seen in videos people doing this, and pictures of and I've seen pictures of of the RB26 being converted into single turbo. Like I've seen people in videos converting their Skylines into single turbos instead of the usual twin turbo styles with the RB26 engines, which is pretty cool. I mean, single turbo kind of would be great because it's a little bit lighter than the twin turbo setup, and the power outputs are going to be a little bit similar, unless if you do some tweaks to it to try get it up to kind of like the same power output almost, I would say. Because for the Skylines, when they were first released, like the R32, which is the only car that was road legal, so you wouldn't have to pay any taxes and all that stuff. It was just literally purely road legal. And the R33 GTR and the R34 GTR, because those two cars are not legal in the U.S. streets, all three of them have a power output of just 280 horsepower, which is the proper the manufacturer's state power output, because for cars to be 25 years old to be legal in the US, they would have to have a power output of 280 horsepower. So below 300 horsepower for Skylines, technically. It's not just for Skylines, but it's also for other Japanese import cars that could not be made legal in the US. The Supra, I don't really know, but I'm gonna have a look. Is the A.A. Mark IV Supra legal in the US? Let's take a look. What? Are you kidding me? No. That can't be true. That can't be true. Are you kidding me? It says the NHTSA, which stands for the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, has banned the Toyota Supra from sale in the U.S. The ban only applies to the 1994 model year, which is the only year it was introduced. Toyota ceased production of the Supra in 2002 due to poor sales performance. What? Oh yeah, hold on. You might think that's bad news, but I kind of got some good news as well. It says is the Toyota Supra Mark IV allowed in US, which is kind of true. Wait. Why did I say that? Why is the Toyota Supra Mark IV allowed in the US? It's kind of Weird, because it already has the answer, but there's another one, so I'm kind of confused, but I'm going to read it anyways. You may have heard rumors that all models of the Toyota Supra are illegal in the US. The rumors are untrue. You can drive a Supra in the US as long as it's not, hear this out loud and clear, if it's not a 1994 model year. So, in other words, you can drive the Supra as long as it's a 1998 model year, technically. This model the supermodel is not permitted on the roads due to I can't talk, both reliability and functionality issues. So technically, if you want to get if you want to get a Mark IV Supra, my suggestion is to get the 1998 model year, so you won't have the trouble, getting the car imported. Well, I mean, you could import a 1998 model Supra, but you will not have the trouble of it not being legal. But only the 1994 version is illegal, whereas the 1998 version, you can drive that legally because it's a little bit newer than the 1984 version, 4 years younger than its brother, and it says it's a supercar. The Supra was now a bona fide supercar killer, which is actually true because you could tune that up to like over 1,000, even 2,000 horsepower, even with twin turbo or a single turbo. That's nuts. If you do like different upgrades like the turbo, air intake, intercooler, oil and cooler kit, exhaust, downpipe, pistons, engine block, camshafts, crankshafts, intake manifold, throttle body, spark plug wires, ignition coils, ignition wires, a heck of a lot. Basically, like the whole engine, gearbox need to tune it up, like the clutch, the flywheel, clutch plates, the gearbox, the drive line, the limited slip differential so it sends power to each of the wheels if necessary. Better brakes, suspension, tires, wheels, all that sort of stuff. Steering knuckles, all that sort of stuff to make it handle that kind of power. Because if you just smashing a freaking if you're just smashing if you're just smashing that just a sync like a turbo kit and all that stuff without doing any more proper mods, you're just literally just gonna blow the whole you're gonna literally blow the whole engine up. I mean, literally the pistons will just blow up. Also, I need to change out like the camshafts and the cam gears as well, and the belts, alternator, power steering. Even the alternator need to change out. Alternator, power steering, auxiliary, even the drive belt as well, whatever it's called. I don't know. Every kind of belt for a car you would really need to change out in order for it to be able to cope with that kind of power. Because like I said, if you just put in like any turbo kit without, or maybe nitrous kit or anything like that, without doing the important mods to make it handle that kind of power, you're done. The engine will blow up and your car will no longer function well or function at all with a blown engine. In other words, your car wouldn't drive with a blown engine. You would have to literally do an engine swap to it or do whatever it takes to fix it. If you can't, then it's going to be an engine swap and you're going to lose a lot of money because literally engine swaps these days will cost like thousands of dollars or euros or quid, whatever, or hold on. So how much does it cost to do an engine swap? Between $500 and $1,500 in labor costs, in addition to anywhere from $500 for a short block engine to nine. This next one is gonna blow your mind. To $9,000 for a complete high performance engine. It's less than $10,000 for an engine swap. That's ridiculous. But in UK, it's like 1,500 to 4 grand or more. What? Are you kidding me? What? Are you for real? Does it really cost that much to do an engine swap? Really? That is just insane. It's just blowing me out of the water. A lot of money for an engine swap. I mean, the only way you can like not blow your engine and not do an engine swap so you won't blow any money is if you would not drive like a maniac. If you drive normally, then your engine will be fine, pretty much. Because if you just drive it so fast, like, shifting gears, hitting the clutch, all that sort of stuff, driving like crazy, like you're Michael Schumacher or like Jeff Gordon or anything like that, you would literally just either kill yourself or you're going to damage the car or like kill the car pretty much. So, word of advice, if you're planning to like drive fast, don't drive too fast if you got like new engine mods to it, because like if you do a fresh like engine rebuild or an engine swap or performance modifications and all that stuff, you gotta just first like drive it normally because the car has to like cope with like all that power. Because if you drive it full throttle straight away, you'll lose control. So just drive carefully with those engine mods because the car needs to cope with that much power, and those new freshly built engine mods that the car is like performance wise, they would have to cope with that kind of power. So it's very important. Just be careful. All right. And that is it, guys. So sorry if it's taking so long. It's like almost an hour since I've done that. Oh my god, it was like me freaking out, and like talking about like engine swaps and all that stuff, Skylines, Supras, all that sort of stuff. And if you think like blowing up engines is bad, Subaru, they had like some issues with the WRX, even the WRX STI, because basically like some of them, like older ones, they do have like reliability issues. So basically, the main reason why they blow up is because they suffer like head gasket failures, because you would have to change it for like every maybe 40, 50,000 miles, somewhere around there, roughly. Because the head gaskets are the most weakest links, like the weakest points for Subaru engines, especially the flat four EJ250, EJ257 or EJ25 boxer motors. Those ones suffer like the most amount of problems. So because basically there's it can have like a lot of like water, oil, and different types of fluids leaking all around there, and you're gonna suffer problems as well. And so you're gonna suffer problems as well if that happens. Like some older cars do kind of suffer that, but mostly Subaru suffer it the most. I mean, they do well in the rally championships and all that stuff in like the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s and early 2010s. But for early 2010s, they got the proper road versions of the rally cars, sedan and compact wise. But yeah. So mainly like, if you're planning to like upgrade a Subaru or all that stuff, make sure you change out the most important parts, such as the head gasket, because like you don't want the car to go wrong every time. And so I'm just looking at online, right? Well, images, pretty much. Um, so I'm looking at some head gaskets for the Subaru. So I'm checking out some HKS head gaskets. And I'm looking at some turbo kits for the car. The main turbo kit I want to get for if I were to buy a Subaru, I'm not saying I will, but I'm saying if I were to have one, what I'll do first is I'll do an exhaust setup for the car. What I'll do is I would get myself this. I don't know if you guys can see it that well, but this is a HKS, right here. It's a HKS silent high power exhaust system. I mean, it costs like 1,100 quid, but I'm just saying, like, if I were to get one, if I were to get a car like this, I mean, well, if I were to get the exhaust for this, I would. And it's for the GC8 WRX, which is this one right here. I'll show you. This one is a beauty. Check this out. Look at this. Honestly, how cool is this car? Honestly, be honest, like, how cool is it? This is like one of the proper rally cars at that time. I mean, I would get this one pretty much because this one looks pretty good, pretty cool. I said pretty good as well. Anyways, this is the Type R version of this car, and it's the version 6. This one is actually pretty cool. You know, I always loved these Subarus. One of the greatest looking cars in the world. Always loved these cars. Subarus have just been fantastic, you know. Sorry if you guys can't see me that well. It's just I got the flashlight and all that stuff. Guys, even got Volk racing wheels. The interior looks great. Up to 180 kilometers an hour. But yeah, I would pretty much get a car like this. So I'm gonna see what the top speed is on this car. 0 to 64.8 seconds. Top speed 245 kilometers an hour. That's pretty cool. I mean, 152 miles an hour. That's not bad. Pretty cool. The modern STI has a top speed of 174 miles an hour, which is pretty cool. And here's an interesting one. Why is the WRX so fast? Because it has a turbocharged engine. The WRX STI drives exhaust back into the cylinders as it runs. This technique increases engine pressure, forcing the pistons to move faster and produce more power. And this is the reason why I love Subarus. They're awesome. This one's kind of a funny one for the first sentence of it. How fast is a 2004 WRX STI? Thus the STI blows the windshield wipers, well, windscreen wipers, off the WRX at the track. I don't know if that's possible, but it's kind of weird, but I mean, is it possible? I mean, it kind of would be possible if you have a car with such huge power and torque and enough grip. At some point, the wipers will just shake up, like it will start to shake, and all of a sudden they will not hold on, and it will just fly away like a torpedo. It would just at that kind of speed, it could just fly away like a crushed beer can. it would just fly away like a crushed beer can almost. That is just insane amounts of power. It's gonna fly away like a beer can at that kind of speed. With 5,000 RPM launches, it just spins all four wheels, and goes like a it goes like a flea, like a bat out of hell almost. With the DCCD set on automatic, letting it choose whether to send the torque to the front or the back, they got a 0 to 60 mile an hour time of 4.78 seconds, rounded up as close to 4.8 seconds, and a quarter mile time of 13.4 seconds at 98.2 miles an hour. I mean, that's the thing about these Subarus. They're just awesome, you know. Always love these cars. I like all Subarus, but the main one that I love the most is definitely the Type RA GC8. Because this is a classic. This one's one, like, this one has always been the best car in the world. Colin McRae, like, drove one of these cars. Such a legend. May rest in peace, though. He was born and he died in Lanark in the town of Scotland. He died when his helicopter, the Eurocopter Skrill 8 AS350 B2 crashed 1.6 kilometers 1 mile north of Lanark in Scotland. Close to the McRae family home, McRae's 5-year-old son Johnny and 2 family friends, Graham Duncan and Johnny's 6-year-old friend Ben Porcelli, also died in a crash. So he died at age 39. Such a young lad. God, may rest in peace. Man, like, I still don't know what the proper praying method is, but like, literally, I've known some methods of it, but how I wonder how old he would be, like, in 2023. So I'm gonna do the math on this in my head. So from 1968 to 2023, he would be 55 years old. Man. Like, he even drove a 1998 Subaru Impreza S5 WRC and P2 WRC. So here is what the P2 WRC looks like. This is the car. And here is the S5 WRC. Now, I don't really know what the difference is between the two because they look kind of the same, but they're a little bit identical. But hey, they look fantastic. I mean, literally, like, the Project S5 WRC, the racing version, it looks good. But if I had to choose one of those two, I would go with the standard one because, you know, it looks more respectable, you know, like the car in mint condition. But at the same time, I would go with the racing version because of Colin McRae. Colin McRae. I don't really know how to pronounce it, but because of Colin, to honor him, if I were to do a rally event to honor Colin, I would use the racing version of the car. To honor the legend, I will do it. For Colin, I would do it for him. For him, I would do it. May rest in peace. Sorry, I was just praying for Colin. Like over the years, like we've lost a lot of racing drivers. You know, we lost Ken Block. First, we lost Sabine back in 2021 because she was she had cancer to fight off, but the cancer fought her back, and that was just sad. Just losing such a good driver, and also for some of you, for those who think that it's worse, Ken Block. For those who don't know what happened, if you guys all know the legend racer Ken Block, he passed away on at the start, at this very start of 2023. He died January 2nd, 2023, age 55, in a snowmobile accident near his ranch in Woodland in Utah. Like this was the location. Well, this right here was the location where he passed away. Where like the snowmobile like flipped over and landed on top of him. That was just ugh. That was a scary feeling to behold. That was just like when I first heard of this, it was just tragic. It was just ugh. It just shook me to pieces in the inside when I first heard that he's dead. I mean, like, it doesn't feel right. Like, I feel like I'm gonna cry, but I'm not. Sorry if you guys are seeing this, but I'm trying not to cry because like my eyes are watering, but I feel like I'm gonna cry. But like, like I feel like I'm gonna cry, but I'm not. I cried when my grandfather. I cried when my grandfather died. He's been gone for a very long time. I mean, he died in November 2020. Like, it's been almost 3 years since he passed away. I mean, I wish he was here with me now. Like, I really wish. I mean, I would feel better, like, if my grandfather was still here. I mean, that would make me happy, but unfortunately, it can't really happen because he passed away. I mean, he's been dead for like, he died like 3 years ago almost. Like, around like 3 years ago, yeah, he passed away in November 2020. I don't really know the day exactly, but what I did know is that he died on November 2020. I first heard about this. It was tragic. It was just, it hit me so hard inside that I went to sleep one day and I cried. I never felt so emotional in my life. I don't really know what to say at the moment. But yeah, I figured I'm gonna take a break. It's been like over an hour now, like around 70 minutes. Yeah, around 70 minutes. I'm using the army method of timing. Around 71 minutes. So it's an hour and 11 minutes. So I figured I'm gonna end it right here now. So if you guys like this video, make sure you guys like it. So like it, subscribe, comment below what you guys think, hit the notification bell, and hit all so you're alerted of when I make new uploads. So yeah, remember, like, subscribe, comment below what you guys think, hit the notification bell, and hit all so hit the notification bell and hit all so you're alerted of when I make new uploads. And I'll be doing these videos before my birthday starts in like December 14th, which is, if I have a look at the calendar, no, it's a month away, like 4 or 5 weeks left. So I've still got time. So yeah, it's 4 weeks and 2 days, pretty much. Which is... $30 days to go. In 31 days, well, I got my first job I gotta go to. See, on the 15th, I'll be working for my very first job, and I'll be getting paid money. And I also will not be doing any more YouTube because I'll be working. I know it's sad, but I gotta do what's right. I gotta do what I gotta do to move on. I know you guys are gonna be sad for me to leave YouTube, but I have to do what I have to do. You know, that's right. I can't just be stuck here doing YouTube all the time. I gotta work as well. I mean, I love doing YouTube. Don't get me wrong, I love doing it, but sometimes I would have to go and work. I would have to go and work and get paid money, which is very important, actually, you know, for me, to get paid. So, yeah, I figured, that would be the best option for me. So, I'll wait for the next month before I quit YouTube, before I retire completely. So, yeah, so if you guys like this video, like it, subscribe, comment below what you guys think, hit the notification bell, hit all so you're alerted when I make new uploads, and also comment down below of what else I can do. I got a lot of options. Yeah, that'll be good. So yeah, if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. And so yeah, I'll see you guys soon in the next video. Till then, stay safe, have a fantastic day. Stay safe, have a fantastic day, and I'll see you guys soon in the next video. Take care, folks. Bye-bye.